How different is Bangalore Naatkal from the original?
Only a little different. It is, I think, Bhaskar did not want to change the movie as such. The whole point was to recreate the entertainment or the essence that we felt while watching the original. In the original, we explored so many relationships. There are friendships, there are relationships within the family, there is love. There is all kinds of very subtle, no big drama, but there's very subtle, interesting things that happens in day-to-day life in our lives. So if we remove that, then it becomes a very skeletal structure and look very forced. So the idea was to not do that and keep the same thing, but Tamil audience have to relate, and those kind of little elements have been brought in by Bhaskar and his team.
How special is Sarah Elizabeth to you?
Sarah is extremely important because Sarah is the kind of person whom I thought is not, I mean, there cannot be a person like her. I mean, the first time Anjali told me, I don't think I've told her this, but the first time Anjali told me about her character, I was like, okay, so she's a very positive person, but isn't she too positive, like, to be true? I mean, is that even possible for a person to be like that? And that was the very judgmental Parvathy speaking, because she didn't know what life is. And this is why I like my job, because with each characters I get to understand that there are so many different kinds of people, and I become humbled, I become very small, and I realize that I don't know everything. So that's what Sarah did to me that time. While doing the movie also, I didn't quite understand the repercussions of what this movie could do to me, but once the movie released and I saw the movie and I moved on, I realized little elements of Sarah remained in me, and those elements I am still very thankful for. The way Sarah respects people, the way Sarah commands respect for herself, and the way Sarah is just so open to life no matter what happens to her. It's not an easy thing to do. It's not like reading a self-help book. She went through it. And for me, Sarah is a very real person. And Anjali wrote Sarah based on a couple of people who are alive, a baby Fatima being one of them, who is actually in wheelchair and who is a volunteer at a palliative care center in Kerala, in Calicut. So there are people like Sarah alive. So she's very special to me.
Okay, doing same movie with both male director and female director, did you find any difference?
No, except the male genitalia and female genitalia. No such difference.
Okay. Only 5 Tamil films in last 8 years. Why?
Because that's the kind of offers that came to me, and I would only do movies in which my heart is there. I won't do movies where I have other ulterior motives to get out of. I don't like publicity, and that's not the reason why I'm here. I'm here to do a character, and that's my connection to the audience. So those kind of movies come very rarely. It doesn't happen very often. And if at all it happens, it doesn't necessarily come to me.
What made you to do the same role again in Tamil?
I think it was Bhaskar who convinced me. PVP, of course, Putluri sir is the first person who mentioned this to me. But Bhaskar is the one who made me convinced that he can definitely do this. He can handle a remake of a movie which has such a huge scope.
Tell about our co-star Arya.
Arya has a very different way of working with a character which I haven't seen before, especially in an actor. I have worked with actors who sit with their script too much, and and like a lot like me actually. But Arya is a very spontaneous actor, and I think at least with this character, I don't know about other characters that he's done such wonderful films. But at least with this character, he was very spontaneous, and that for me was a huge challenge, because he would just keep acting as he is and as Arjun the character is, and I was still stuck with the same frame of Sarah. So it challenged me to test other waters. Yeah.
The same character. Sarah character.
No, it's the same thing. This is what I said. Their technique of dealing with the character was very different. So that for me was a challenge as an actor to do differently, but the same character. Thank you so much. Thank you.